Our day at Universal Studios Japan began with the magical world of Harry Potter. Being huge fans of both the books and the movies, this was one of the most anticipated parts of our trip. This attraction is so popular that on busy days you either have to get a timed entry ticket or wait in a long queue to get into this part of the park. Luckily, we came here on a not-so-busy Thursday, so there was hardly any line. We got into the Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey ride with almost no wait time. The actual ride is in Hogwarts and takes you on a 4D experience flying around the castle grounds with the movie characters you know. It's the best ride I have ever been considering every theme park I have been to so far, though I might be a little biased being a Potterhead myself. The attraction opens into a village which is a recreation of Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley. Here you'll find shops like Ollivander's, Honeydukes, and the Three Broomsticks. They sell snacks, meals, wands, and other items drawn from the franchise. They're nice, but they all come with a hefty price tag. Of course, how could we possibly leave without trying some butterbeer, which tastes more like melted caramel candies than actual beer? We also explored the other areas of the park. The next one we went to was the Jaws ride. Another highlight of the park is the Jurassic World area. This is where you can find the Flying Dinosaur roller coaster ride and the Jurassic Park water ride. We're not really into roller coasters, and with the recent trauma from the Tower of Terror in Disney Sea, we decided to skip the Flying Dinosaur. We did, however, get on the Jurassic Park ride. We've tried this ride before in Universal Studios Singapore, but the version here in Japan took us by surprise. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, so I'll just say it's one of those rides you shouldn't miss. We also had lunch at the Discovery Restaurant, which carries on the Jurassic Park theme. Just a little after noontime, there's a parade of prehistoric creatures right in front of the restaurant. We also tried the Amazing Spider-Man 4D ride, which was fun and exciting even if it was delivered in Japanese. We did not have time to go into the Insidious attraction for the Halloween, so we might come back for that some other time. It was a cold afternoon in Osaka, but that did not stop the park goers from coming in costumes, which is not exactly weather appropriate. In fact, they take costumes here really seriously. The next day, we took the early morning Shinkansen to Kyoto. Our first destination for that day was the Fushimi Inari Shrine. One would easily recognize this shrine as it is a common tourist destination in Kyoto, marked by thousands of torii gates lining up the walkways that go up to the mountain. This is a Shinto shrine where locals come to get in touch with their spirituality. I can see why this would be that type of place. The calmness of the breeze blowing through the leaves as you make your way up, and the random sounds of chimes and gongs echoing, does seem to tap something deeper within anyone who visits, despite the usual number of tourists who come by the hundreds. Inari is said to be the god of rice. The Japanese people offer homage to Inari when they look for prosperity and success in business. Most of the torii gates you can find in this shrine was donated by Japanese businesses in the hopes of attracting financial growth and stability. Once you're done exploring the temple and the mountain paths, take some time to see the unique shops nearby. This is where we found most of the souvenirs we took home for this trip. On your way out of the shrine, you can grab a quick snack or even enjoy a full meal with a number of stalls serving you treats to satisfy your palate. As we stepped out of Inari, we got to see more of Kyoto. Unlike Tokyo and Osaka, most of the railways are at ground level, giving it an older and more cinematic vibe. Kyoto is the former capital of Japan, so it's teeming with history and beauty. And by beauty, I mean things you see almost everywhere. Gion is our next destination, and a lot of people come here to wear kimonos. And of course, we wouldn't want to miss out on that experience. Gion is a district in Kyoto lined with old streets, houses, and structures that seem to have been frozen in time. One thing you'll truly appreciate walking around Gion is the Japanese love for their history and the strong affinity it has with its past. Our final destination for that day was Arashiyama. To get there, we boarded the tram at Shijuomiya Station. Though it was a much slower ride on a vintage train, it offered a different experience from what you would usually get if you just take the bus or the metro. We got to see more of the residential areas in Kyoto, with smaller streets and older stations. Arashiyama gives a vibe that's similar to Nikko. It's laid back but full of life and activities with visitors coming from all sides. With the last few minutes of daylight we have left, we hurried to see the bamboo forest. It looks exactly the same in the photos except for the many tourists walking up and down its paths. Still, it is a must-see when you come to Arashiyama. The sunset finally came, marking the end of our day trip in Kyoto.